We now have projects inside of Claude Cowork. I am going to set up my second one, although it's going to look like my first one because I deleted the first one that I made yesterday. I want to show you what it looks like to use this for a basic use case in my business. This is a real world use case that's going to save me time by using this instead of a few Google Sheets that I previously had stitched together. Also, it was a great solution that saved me a bunch of time, but this is going to, I think, save more. Let me show you what we're working with here. This is the chat that I initially had getting Claude to write a skill. And if you want to know about skills, let me know in the comment below. But I had it write a skill to enable it to extract a bunch of information from a bunch of PDFs that are invoices that I'm going to feed it. Okay, so the details notwithstanding, I've done a previous video about this actual project that I'll link, or this actual chat that I'll link in the description below. What we're doing today is taking the framework that we have here and the skill that we created and moving it into a project so that I can just simply drop in a folder and have Claude Cowork do its thing. So my goal is to have a folder where I just drop these PDFs, click play, or even schedule a task. We can do that too now, but I think for this, I'm just going to click play because I only do it once a week or so. And then it spits out a CSV file, which goes into QuickBooks. Now, I haven't got the QuickBooks part figured out yet. I still have to upload that, and it does its thing through a service that I use. That's kind of the final piece of this puzzle that I would like to automate eventually too. But for Claude Cowork, this is the exciting part. We've got projects over here now. So I messed around with this yesterday and then deleted because it was just a superfluous project. Ooh, I pronounced that word correctly, that I wasn't going to use again. So I want to walk you through today creating a project, and I'm going to make it real basic. So create first project. I'm going to start from scratch, and I'll tell you why in a minute. All we need is the skill that I've created for this. So I'm going to name this after the company whose invoices I'm going to actually use for this. And for the instructions, here's what we're going to do. You will take all the PDFs in the given directory, run the Art Gourmet skill on them to output a CSV file according to the skill. That's it. Now, once we give it some instructions, these are general instructions for the whole project. I can add files to this also if I needed reference files. And depending upon how good the skill does, I could and I may go ahead and add the files. But for right now, I want to see if it's smart enough to just do this all on its own. I'm going to click project location. I've created a Claude project for this. It's going to be in this Art Gourmet folder. Select folder. That gives it permission, Claude Cowork, to actually make changes, to do things, which is the whole point of using it, but it nails down and it sandboxes those permissions just to this folder for just this project. Memory is on. This is an important feature down here of using projects. So now you don't have to tell it stuff. It's going to learn as the project goes on. And importantly, if we run into hiccups, which we might, we can just update the memory in the project kind of in a live fashion. Okay, makes sense? Clear as mud? Let's create this. So now we've got this project, and you'll see it's indicated over here. We're inside the Art Gourmet project. We've got our regular chat window up here so we can start chats that will remain in the project itself. So now what I want to do is drop in I've got two PDFs that I need to process right now, and I'm going to drop them into this folder. Okay, so now I've added these two invoices to the folder that we dedicated to be used for this sample run of the project. I don't know, go ahead and give me the CSV. We'll see if it can deal with my ambiguity right there. So what we see here are a few things right here in real time. And as I zoom in, it's going to pause the real time aspect, but it's going to show you what it's doing. It's doing all these things. Over here, it's going to give you the progress of the project or the chat application that it's running. It's going to say, hey, we want to list the files, run the dry run to pass a check, run full pass and generate the CSV, and then present output file to user. So it's got some basic logic built in whenever you ask Claude Cowork to do stuff to where it will line up over there on that right-hand side, a several-step process, including some dry run pass stuff so it can actually check itself that it's doing these things correctly. And now, check this out. It's giving me some updates right here. I found the two PDFs, but the item list file, which maps product names to expense categories, is missing from the folder. Okay. I forgot to add that item list CSV. I thought all the information you needed was inside of the skill. Let me go ahead and put that into the project files so you have it for everything else in this project going forward. All right, so this is good. We ran into a problem. Let's come back over here. And in this main folder, what did it say it needed? Item list CSV. I'm going to put it into the project files so we can have it for all time. So over here, where are our project files? For the project files, context skills, Scratchpad, instructions, Claude MD. Let's go over to the projects, back out of there, and I'm going to put in here in the instructions. Is that where we're going to put it? Nope. Context, memory, schedule. What am I missing? Edit details, context, choose a program, folder, add a link, memory, instructions. Well. I guess we found something that's buggy. There's no way to add this after we've created the project. Either I'm missing something or there's not a way to actually add files to the project after it's been created. This is a bug, surely, that will be patched. But what we're going to do is come back over here, create a new project, start from scratch. See this add files deal right here? Apparently, it's not going to let me add files except during the creation process, which is strange. So I'm going to add them there. If somebody knows what I'm missing here, let me know in the comments. But now I'm going to come back in here, select that same folder for the project location, Art Gourmet Reel. You will run the Art Gourmet skill to create a CSV file from the given invoices. So let's create this again. Hopefully that's the only file I need, because that's super weird. Doesn't show me a place. Doesn't show me a place to do that. Yeah, that's bonkers. I mean, is it right here? No. Add files, connectors, plugins, skills, edit details. Yeah, that's wild. So let's see if the whole thing is buggy. Let's see if it does it or not. Please generate the CSV. So let's see if it gets past that point that we got stuck at before. You know, I'm noticing down here, I do have an update, so I probably should have done that before doing this. Oh, there's no PDF invoices. All right, so I gave it the list, but not the PDF. Now let's see if we can do it. Sorry about that. Try again. They should be there now. Incidentally, if you're wondering, I'm using Windows PowerToys to do these cool things like the drawing on the screen deal like this. You can even type on the screen like this, and then you can hold this window in the front. I've got a keyboard shortcut, Control Window T, turns that on and off. It's just pretty cool stuff. I like doing that. Okay, so now once it's done all of that, it gives us a preview over here in this window from Excel. See, it's using Excel, and we can actually go ahead and shortcut into this and see the actual Excel file. This is of course, a small version of the real thing that I would be using this for, but this is what it did. It actually took those invoices, categorized them according to everything, the categories, reference numbers, vendors, transaction dates. All these are very specifically labeled so that they correspond to how my QuickBooks is set up so that it actually gets imported correctly. Just dropping that in there. When I do many of these at once, this used to be a literal copy and paste. Even though I had the Google Sheets set up to make things easier to export and everything, I still had to copy and paste the contents into the Google Sheets because that was more reliable than extracting them in a manner something like this, because I didn't get into Python scripting and it wasn't super laborious. But I still had to do that, and then it did some Google Sheets formulas using regular expressions and stuff, pretty in-depth formulas that I had set up to basically just then filter out the needed data into the format I needed for the CSV file. This does it just like that. I'm going to double check this real quick and let you know if these are correct amounts though. So yeah, I just went and double checked that this data is correct, and it is indeed correct. I'm kind of giddy with how good Cowork is, and I have only scratched the surface in a few things that I'm practically using it for in my business on a literal week-to-week and sometimes day-to-day basis. This is going to be very, very helpful. And let me speak to the cost of Claude, because There are a lot of people, at least in the corners of the internet that I've been paying attention to, that are really up in arms with how quickly they hit Claude limits. And as you can see down here, I'm on the Pro plan. Now I'm paying $20 a month is how much Pro is at the time of this recording. And the problem is we have some weird usage stuff going on. So we have a current session, which resets every 5 hours. And then we have, on top of that, a weekly limit. So people don't like these limits. And the complaint is that they're too easy to hit. The current sessions gets hit really, really fast in just a few chats, which I question that. I think that there's too much documentation going into a chat, too much context, like basically the context window gets blown up out of proportion for people that are hitting it that fast. But then the weekly limits, this really is problematic. And I'm going to have to upgrade because I know my usage is going to skyrocket from where it is right now that I'm using Cowork, and will be continuing to use it as well as diving into Claude Code soon. So limits are an issue, especially free limits. If you're using the free plan, you're probably just dabbling. But if you're a pro user right now and you're using this as I have been for actual pro tasks and business tasks and things that you would hire somebody or get somebody to do for you, Pro's not going to cut it, I don't think. That's my opinion. I'm going to be up in the $100 per month max plan before long. I mean, maybe before the end of this week, honestly, if I can get into as much as I have planned to delve into with Claude Cowork. Here's the thing, though. I still think it's an incredible deal. I can point to a couple things where this has saved me hours of work already. I don't know about you, but I personally value my time at a high hourly rate. So if I can save even a handful of hours a month, then it pays for itself many times over. I mean, this saves me already hours every week. So $100 a month, $200 a month. I don't want to pay $200 a month, but I can see a world where that becomes necessary for my use cases, even in the kind of more limited capacity that I'm using. I don't have Mac Minis set up over here running all kinds of stuff by any means. But yeah, I will if it hits that point, because $200 a month, that's really nothing compared to what it's enabled me to do. Now, if you're just a hobbyist, I can see where that's a problem. If this is not being used to generate good business returns or being used in your business for some capacity, then yeah, maybe that's just an extra expense going into the wind, and I can understand that. I would just question why we're using AI if not to be more productive for actual means to an end, etc. Anyway, tangent over. Those are my thoughts. They may change. They may solidify as time goes on. One thing I'm sure of, this is going to save me a whole lot of time. Now, today, right now, it's saving me time already in the things that I'm doing. And as I get more comfortable and more adept at setting these things up, it's just going to continue to snowball, I think. So I'm pleased with this. What do you want to know about next? What have I missed here? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, all that stuff. I've got a free newsletter that you can check out in the description as well. Hope you have a great one.